Good evening, one. Good evening, all. Welcome to the Toon Review for tonight's TTR Friday / season awards. I don't know why I went high pitched there. It's just positive energy coming from the rest of us. But big news before we start the show. Sam is drinking tea.
Oh, shut up, man. So, Billy,
I think you'll find his dinner.
Well, we'll have to explain that one in a second so we can ridicule Alex.
Yeah.
Yes, folks, I am off the drink. Official medical advice. I have developed Alex, that face. No. Wherever you're thinking with that, it's a no. Medical advice. Apparently, my body has developed some intolerances to wine and beer, and I have to have 2 months off the drink, let the body repair itself, then you can go back on it. So
new season,
repair tea, yeah, and ready for the season. I'm going to need it, so fair enough.
Just in time to let your liver rot again. Honestly, just prior to that, we have an inside joke before we went live, guys, because Alex is away on holiday next week, and I said, "Oh, you'll be jumping in the chat at some point." He says, "Well, it depends if I'm out for dinner." Now, we in the Northeast don't say dinner; we say tea. Dinner is lunchtime, as far as I'm concerned. What's for dinner? What's for tea? And what's for supper? We don't say we're going out for dinner. And then Billy decided to, well, Billy, I'll let you do it again. The perfect King Charles now, isn't it? It is, yes.
So what are you having for dinner tonight, darling? The cookies, and we'll have some corgi.
Some corgi? Wow. So I don't know what you guys see out there in Viewerland, but
Jesus Christ.
I beg your pardon?
So I'm not a Macam, Jesus.
Eating dogs.
Well, yeah, that's fair enough. But certainly in the Northeast, I don't see many people calling it dinner, as in tea time.
I'm not going to do a John Sinclair and pretend and put on the words and the accent. It's going to do me, and it's probably more authentic. So I'll just be me. I can love the club without faking an accent. That's fine.
Wow.
Good for you, Statter. You stick to your guns, mate.
Indeed.
Throw somebody else under the bus while you're on, mate. I love that. It's got some teeth tonight, for.
Absolutely. Well, as you can see,
I'm on 0% alcohol as well. So there you
go. Boo!
I feel obliged to go and get some fucking alcohol now.
I'm on the serious alcoholic strawberry and raspberry sugar-free water.
Someone's got to be pissed up on here.
Exactly.
Billy, you know as well as I do, we don't need to have a drink to have a laugh, the four of us.
That is true.
That is never the case on this show. But by the way, as you can see, I am joined tonight by my colleagues, all of them, Sam, Stato, and Billy, who is donning his new jersey. Mine has not been delivered yet, anytime before 10 p.m., but mine didn't come in time to put it on for the show. So, Billy, what's the fitting like? Can you just explain what it's like in person?
It seems better than last year's, to be fair. I've got the same size, 4XL, which is a lot bigger than the old Castore 5XL. A lot bigger. Plenty of room, plenty of stretch room, if you like. Loads of it. Just an excellent shirt.
Yeah. I saw it last night in the Metro Centre, to be honest, and I it's lovely. When you see it in the flesh, it's really nice. It's looking absolutely cracking, and I can't wait for mine to arrive and don it and just support the Toon in every single way, man. But anyway, tonight is, of course, TTR Friday, so I will apologise immediately for anything that comes out of Billy Trey and Samantha Bradley's mouths tonight. But to be fair, we've also got our season-ending awards. Now, as you well know on this channel, we are not scripted, so we have not put anything together. We'll just go by what we think are the decent awards to have a vote on. We'll certainly include you guys. So you can have a vote as well. You've already voted for your player of the year, the viewers, and that was, of course, Sandro Tonali. I don't think you're going to get much of an argument from any of us, to be fair, but we will. Let's do that first. We'll get the big one out the way. Billy, who is your Newcastle United player of the season?
Yeah, I think it's fair that people went for Sandro Tonali. However, I'm going to go for Dan Burn on account he's played the full season without having any breaks for 3 minutes at the beginning or 2 minutes at the beginning.
So you just made me look like a twat, Billy. Thanks very much.
No, Dan Burn managed to get himself from nowhere into the England side, was integral to us winning the Carabao Cup.
He was.
So for me, he's our player of the year.
Okay. Stato?
I mean, I kind of agree with Billy.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He's been ever present for the entire season. He's been better than I thought he would be for the year. I think he's been a little bit better technically, a little bit faster. He's been a leader. He's been great with the media, great with the fans, great with events, and scored in a cup final. I mean, what box hasn't he ticked? I think Dan Burn deserves it. As beautiful as a human being and footballer that Sandro is, I think it's kind of got to go to Dan Burn.
Steady on, Alex. I mean, is that you? Are you coming out on TTR Friday?
I'm very comfortable with my sexuality enough so that I can say something like.
Fair play to you, darling.
Other than her above you, who said she wouldn't mind sitting on Alice. No, let's not go there again with the towel.
Just say that she ain't fussy.
No, that was a classic quote, Sam. It will never be forgotten. Dear God, mind you were quite drunk when you said that.
That was, yes.
You'd had a
good time.
At least a liter of wine when that came out. Who was your player of the season, Sam?
Sandro Tonali.
Yes,
absolutely, of course. I mean, you cannot take away from the poetry of the story of Big Dan Burn, local lad, just the cup, the header in which he scored it, how we got the goal, how it was just beautiful. And then the England call up, absolutely tremendous. And he has improved. He's played so much better. He's in the right position now. The improvements, I will not counter anybody's argument on that. But in terms of the player of the season who's made the biggest impact to the squad, who's been all over the pitch, who's controlled rate of play, dictated rate of play as well, an absolute workhorse, without a doubt, it's Tonali.
Right. Before we go any further, I want to get your views on what my video was about today. Of course, Mr. Dan Ashworth poking in there with his little saying that.
What did he say? Because I didn't hear it.
He found Eddie Howe very difficult to work with, and it seemed like Eddie was more fixated on working within his inner circle than working with Dan Ashworth. This is on top, of course, of Craig Hope's incredible report yesterday of the staff not being happy with Paul Mitchell, why he wasn't turning up for work, didn't know where he was, and of course the comment that he made about not fit for purpose, that upset a lot of people as well. But why is Dan Ashworth getting involved, trying to throw Eddie Howe under the bus? I will never know.
Well, because he left on a bad note, because he got caught out by flirting with the enemy via the club email, because he's a moron. So he's trying to upset the apple cart.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I did. I listened to the Simon Jordan stuff on the way home in the car.
Yeah.
And I, for once, agree with Simon Jordan. I think people have massively taken what
come out with a
Paul Mitchell said out of context. They've weaponized everything. He was referencing that it wasn't fit for purpose for what we need to now do progressively with the football club. And it wasn't, because we've had to go and sell. We got lucky that we had Elliot Anderson. We just flukily had if that's a word, had a young talent that was worth that much. Mm-hmm. And Yankuba Minte that Dan Ashworth had, let's be honest, someone else had signed him. And then we had to get both of them off the book so we didn't have to sell a superstar. Mm-hmm. And so that is negligent. It wasn't fit for purpose. It's not sustainable. It's not a sustainable model. So it needed changing. And I think his words got taken hugely out of context. and he had no opportunity to even try and flex his muscles. Simon, Jordan, and Jim, unfortunately, weren't educated enough, or weren't informed enough, should I say, to know that the general consensus is that Eddie Howe was allowed to proceed with the summer transfer window that was pre-planned before Mitchell got there as well. So in theory, Mitchell's not had a single crack at the whip at all.
Yeah, but what about all this stuff about staff not getting on with him? He didn't seem to. The staff turned around and said at the end of the day, he's
that's down to apparently that's just off Craig Hope. We can't confirm that.
Well, he's got it from somewhere, Alex. We know Craig, and he's not going to put out stuff like that if it's, he's not going to put it up if there's no smoke there. For me, I think something. Definitely.
None of them had a sniff before the other day. They've all come out and said, "Well, it hasn't surprised me." Nobody wrote sod all a week ago. None of them. Not one.
I don't
listen. Single journalist.
It's clear to me that something's gone on or has done very much behind the scenes. I said this the other day.
It smells funny to me, and I don't like it.
Well, I said
the puzzle that we don't know, and it's just been completely omitted. It's weird.
Well, I said the other day, and I'll stick by it, that I just think he hasn't got the support in the boardroom that he thought he might have, which is why he's
maybe. But we've got nothing to stick by because we're clearly missing a piece of the puzzle. So I'm unwilling to make an opinion on it yet because I don't think everyone's had a fair crack of the whip. Something else has clearly happened, and we don't know. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus without facts. So,
well, clearly people are trying to throw Eddie under the bus, which I do not agree with. I mean,
people are trying to throw loads of people under the bus. Yeah. It's not healthy. It's not right. We don't have the facts. It's just unnecessary.
Ashworth shouldn't even be involved, Sam.
Well, he's slithering back into the picture because of Mitchell's quick exit. It gives him a get out of jail free card, which makes it look like, I was trying to get out because, Eddie's difficult to work with. That's why he's putting his 2 pence in, because it makes his story more easy for people to sympathize with. But he doesn't deserve any sympathy at all. I hate the fact that he's actually got a forum to have an opinion on this. He's honestly an absolute snake, and to throw Eddie under any bus as well is just deplorable. Absolutely can't stand the man.
Billy, it was also mentioned yesterday that Mitchell wanted Eddie Howe out, and that the players said something regarding that the Mitchell wanted in Pochettino. And that's why maybe everything was a little bit to pot at the start of the season, because there was so much going on behind the scenes. Because if the players were thinking, is Eddie Howe staying or going? Are we getting Pochettino? What the hell?
Again, that's just talk, isn't it? I mean, for me, it seems to me like the director of football job or sporting director's job isn't an easy one. And you've got to be singing from the same hymn book as the manager. If the manager doesn't want to sing from the same hymn book as you, and if you're a successful manager, you've got very little to go on, really. And that's the problem. Paul Mitchell would have had much more of a chance had he come in with a manager that didn't have the success that Eddie's had. Eddie winning the cups, winning Champions League, 2 lots of Champions League qualifications. He's pretty irreplaceable. And it's a fight that Paul Mitchell was never going to win. Even if they were having a fight, again, we don't really know. But I mean, it certainly seems like the two didn't get on.
Guys, I mean, how many times do we have to go through this? Yes, Billy and Sam wanted Eddie Howe out. What is the big problem? We were struggling at the time. We didn't know what the hell was going on. We were playing terribly, but he's changed the minds. And now, they're not the only two. There's a lot of people said the same, but Eddie Howe has changed people's minds by what he's achieved. And there's nothing wrong with that. How many times, man? Just let it go. Is it some sort of you said you wanted Eddie Howe. It's like schoolyard crap.
There's a few people talking about, and I'm getting really sick of this because we're getting pundits and real journalists and people on telly saying this. Let Eddie Howe play with the war chest. Eddie Howe does not have enough time to do everything a director of football does. There's so many of you in the chat going, why do we need a director of football? We didn't used to have directors of football. No, because we didn't used to run under 5s, under 8s, under 11s, under 12s, under 15s, under 18s, under 21s, the women's team. You've got so much that needs to go on. We need to fit quotas. We need to recruit smartly. We need to sell and buy and develop. We need the loan managers working in tandem. Everything needs to tick. Eddie can't do all that, nor can Andy Howe and Nixon. We need somebody to run that, and then some has connections in the rest of world football as well, which Eddie doesn't. He's worked in one country.
Cludes says, Alex, what's your thoughts on Ben Jacobs' report saying that Mbeumo would rather join Manchester United because Newcastle's project is streaky?
He was very critical of us when we got our Champions League season as well. So
Ben Jacobs,
streaky.
I'm sick of seeing him on Newcastle channels, to be honest. I wouldn't have him on here. The man loves his own voice. He talks for hours about total bollocks, and he doesn't like Newcastle United. And it's
who's he quoting though? Is that his own word, streaky? Is he saying that Mbeumo said streaky, or he thinks it's streaky? Who picks that word?
Well, it won't be Mbeumo. I guarantee you that.
I mean, what are we? 4th, 7th, 4th, 3 years on the trot.
Champions League 2 years out of 3. It's streaky. Yeah,
4th, 7th, 4th with a cup win. I think Leicester, mate, is a bit streaky. Go and worry about your own club, Ben.
Yeah, Leicester City. Oh dear, what has happened to them? But Billy, just on before we go on to the next award, you were worried, and I mentioned this in the video today that that maybe Eddie Howe is going to have to do too much, and then it was a report came out today that Eddie Howe is going to be handling Isak's contract negotiations. Now, I'm not sure where I stand on that. Yes, Eddie works with him on a daily basis, but when you come to contractual agreements, it's very, very different to coaching. It's a whole different ball game, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And even if going without the contract discussions and negotiations with other players and Isak as well, it's important that we get these people signed up. By the way, but you can't afford to do it at the price that puts us back in that PSR doldrum. And I'm not sure whether Eddie Howe's got that in his remit to do that. He must have. But it's not just about that. It's about, like Sasso said, it's all the different sides that we've got, the club and the women's side. Mm-hmm. Can you really see Eddie Howe putting blueprints down for the women's and going and sign women's players? Absolutely not. We need a sporting director. We absolutely need one. But it's got to be one that maybe Eddie Howe picks, maybe. It's got to be qualified for the job. He can't just bring in his nephew in to do it, like people are saying. Don't want no nepotism involved.
He's already there.
Like you say, he's already there, but we need someone that he gets on with.
Well, Denver Bar threw his hat in the ring last week, who, by the way, has been fantastic. He's getting plaudits. But he's getting huge plaudits for the job he's done with Dunkirk in League 2. But he said that he's a big fan of Eddie Howe. He loves the way he plays his football.
Should we get Andy Carroll in for his brilliant work with Bordeaux in League 2? Like, where does this end?
Well, it never ends, does it? It's Newcastle United. Anyway, Dan Robinson's been a member for 18 months on the channel. Tonali, Murphy, Byrne, Isak, what a season. Great being a Toon fan and loving all the TTR shows. You guys are the best. Is this the way to Barcelona? Yes, indeed. Kieran with a super chat says, if I was DOF, I would ask Eddie Howe to ask for a list of every player that he wants and try to sign them for the club. So it's one thing less for Eddie to do. Ange Mag is a new member of the channel. I think that might be a renewal, but thank you, Ange. Pound for pound boxing with a super chat. Hail King Eddie. Long live the king. Aaron Taylor's super chat says, no Europe last season cost us Minty and Anderson. Eddie's face at full time. He thought we could miss out on transfers this summer and Champions League. Chippers with a super chat. Ben Jacobs hates our owners yet works in Saudi. Quite the hypocrite. And Trolls has gifted a Toon Review membership. Thank you again, Trolls. Right.
Can I just say something?
Absolutely, Sam.
The next award. I would be really concerned with Eddie doing the negotiation over a renewal contract for Isak, not just because it's the legalities in it, the things that we need to consider to look after the club first and foremost. But can you imagine you sitting over the table from your star player, and if it's not going in the right direction, then you're like, "Howie lad, get your boots on. We'll go out and train now." It's too close in terms of proximity for me. We're a huge global brand, a global club now. There's a reason why you get people in who've got significant negotiation experience, who know what they're looking for, getting lawyers involved. I just think it's really too close. We've all commented on the amount of time that Eddie does not have to dedicate to this. So I think that my mindset is that this is just for an interim period where we'll let's get this all over the window, get the players that you want in, and let's move on and hire somebody in. But we are in dangerous territory, and it makes me very nervous to think of how much time is going to be investigated and the contract negotiation talks.
Yeah. Banana, we will do a poll for the Champions League once we know where we're at. It's hard to do a poll right now because the team's going to be different. The oppositions are going to be different. So we'll wait and see how that...
Paul, I've just got to fact check something as well, just because it's very important. Not to be mean, Steve. Bruno Fernandes is nearly 31. He's not, in fact, 29. He's a few months away from 31. So let's make sure the facts are out there.
Yeah, but
if
it's
they
still
pay 100 million
ridiculous.
for a 31-year-old.
Yeah,
it's criminal and will be investigated, I should hope.
Alex will be contacting the local authorities to look into that. He will be on a jet to Saudi to find out. He will be that angry with it. Emma with a super chat. Thank you, Emma. Hi, Paul, Billy, and Lady Sam and Alex. Thank you very much for a great season and being on again next season. You're very welcome, Emma. Thank you for all your support as well. Dan with another super chat. I get the feeling that Dan Cashworth and Paul Bitchell tried to use Newcastle to boost their own image instead of being in line with the club's agenda. And Joe Wilkinson says, Lady Sam, the women are releasing 12 players, including Amber Keegan-Stobbs.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
Sam,
Mitchell has been doing something behind the scenes. And as a reminder, Mitchell got in some great players during the January transfer window for the women's team. I had the pleasure of speaking to one of the women's team players over the summer and mentioned that this upcoming season was going to be very transitional for us. This was going to be the time for us to kick on. So maybe some magic has been worked before Mitchell's departure there, because I can't see how we can quickly get so many people in. It terrifies me because you've got to have balance. People have got to gel well. And these players have got to be likable, experienced. You want to get some people in there who we've seen coming through the ranks as well. So it's going to be a really scary time for the lasses. Although I will say something great, the lasses are getting their very own personalized shirt for next season. So if any of you like that, it says "How are the lasses" on the back, which I think is a really, really nice touch and perhaps talks to the ambition of where we're going as a club for the lasses.
I would worry if it had "How are the lads" on the back of the women's shirts, though. I mean, that would be a little bit weird, wouldn't it, to be fair?
It would a little.
But this is all like to emphasise to me why we need a sporting director in the club.
Yes.
Because without one, the women's team could easily fall back, couldn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it says to me, if they're releasing 12 players, then they've got targets coming in the summer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who will be Paul Mitchell's
get
targets,
promoted, surely.
Yeah. Hey, you never know, Billy. They might have been knocking on Juventus's door over the summer.
Yeah, it might be.
You see, when he clicked, his tone completely changed.
Completely, yeah.
What's going on? Oh, yeah.
Somebody layman, Billy. Is that who you wanting to play at Newcastle?
Absolutely not, and not Jens either.
No, definitely not.
I think Jack Grealish wants to go first.
Yeah. Indeed, yeah.
His weird antics in front of everybody. I don't know. I don't think he understands that DMing exists. He just plasts it all over.
He does. Yeah, he doesn't care, does he? He doesn't care. Anyway, let's do another award. By the way, there's been a lot of people asking in the chat if we're going to do a poll for Host of the Year again, like we do at every season end. We'll put that in a bit later for a bit of banter. Who won it last year? Was it you, Billy?
Billy.
Yeah.
Was it Billy?
I don't know how to talk about it. Yeah, it was me. And the time before that.
You've won it 2 years running now.
Yeah. We had it at Christmas, didn't we? And then we had it at the end of the season. So
it's because you get so hyped up about it, Paul. Then everyone just votes for Billy.
No. Listen, I
think I should be out of it this year because of my illnesses. I've hardly been on screen, so
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
I've been out for a while and all, Billy, remember? So,
Well, there we go. We've got excuses then, Paul. We should have.
well, yeah, but to be fair,
now then, yeah, he's the most staple one out the lot of us.
hey, Alex has had a few barneys with certain.
Oh,
viewers as
I
well.
ruffle loads of feathers, so I'm happy and expecting to be right at the bottom. It's
Like a handsy ornithologist.
Oh dear. Yeah, we'll put a poll up. Why not? But yeah, I trust in the viewers that they'll be sensible about it and vote for honestly who's their favourite.
Well,
So.
I think me and Sam deserve at least a tip of the cap for hosting shows and coordinating stuff this year and taking a bit of the weight off these two during some challenging parts of the year.
Okay.
Just as a little,
Right,
you know, we
hang on a
try
minute.
to do that.
No.
Rewarding us like the
Yes,
runners
he is,
that-
Sam. It's a
I'm
disgrace.
giving a little tip of the
Yeah,
cap to both
he
of
is.
us for helping these two.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you.
is. It's an absolute.
What's wrong with
disgrace.
that?
Can I just say, despite him saying coordinating the shows and still, so after I suffered my stroke, I still had to schedule the shows. I still did the thumbnails. I still did the YouTube stuff backstage.
You're
didn't tell
prodding
us
a bear
how to do
now
it. We did
because we
offer.
asked. We asked. Tell us how.
You
Teach
wouldn't
them
show
the
us.
fish.
Right.
Don't
Where's
give us
fucking
the
David
fish.
Dimbleby when you need him?
Yeah, but you
For
can't
God's sake.
because I all my everything that is connected to my account, so I can't do that.
We
I
did
have
as much as we could to assist.
Absolutely.
and I actually said that at the time. I came out and thanked you both. So you know, stop trying to blow your own trumpet, Alex. You know,
I've already said I'm right at the bottom, and that's no bother. But I'm just saying, I'm not a host at all. I'm quite happy to just talk about my stats and bits and bobs in the corner while you do a fantastic job hosting, Paul. But I've had to step in at times, and it was quite fun. But it's your whole bingo and your jam, and it's a lot to.
and
It's
me
a
and
lot
Sam-
to keep an
me-
eye
me-
on.
Me
It's
and
a
Sam
hell of a
have
lot to do.
also had to do shows on our own. You know,
I'm aware that's why I said about me and Sam that.
but
this
I will
year
give
we
you
had to
credit,
do
Alex.
on
You've
your
done
own.
a couple of transfer shows on your own as well.
He also did a watch along against Man United on his own.
I did the Man United one alone as well. That was, and I had no overlays, so it was just me looking at myself for like 3 hours. It was a bit weird.
The matchday lives are not difficult. You
No, they're not
interact
easy.
with the viewers and you commentate on
Mate,
the
you've
game.
done it for years. I haven't done. I have had to. Yeah, that was new for me.
To be fair, you say we've done it for years. We haven't. We haven't done the commentary for years. That's only been a recent thing.
I'm going to need to swap this for the zeros.
Lads,
Not
this
doing it,
isn't
I'm
this
afraid.
isn't a competition, boys.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And if it was,
This has gone so. This has gone so tits up. It wasn't meant to be like this.
it started off really nice though. Paul,
It did.
thank you.
It did. Basically, the Toon Review host and his colleagues are just a bunch of bitches.
Just vote for Paul because I can't. I won't hear the end of it. Just please, just vote for Paul. God's sake.
Listen,
Oh, God.
I was very. Listen, Billy's won it 2 years running, and I applauded him for that.
You did. On the back of my head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, I love the way Alex says, I just sit there and I'll do me stats and I'll do this. I'm not, in other words, pushing himself forward for the vote. He's
Not
a very,
at
he's a
all.
very
I've just
good.
asked people to vote for Paul.
You look at
Oh
the
my
feeling
God.
that Alex would be a
can't
really
win.
good politician.
Robert Morrison's got a good
Guys,
idea.
I don't know what to do. He won't. I'm damned if I do. I'm damned
Right,
if I don't.
let's move on. What's the next award, Paul?
Can we have Robert Morrison's idea though? If you do that, then there'll only be
Go
one
on, then,
winner.
Billy.
Let me find it. There you go. I will
wow.
literally piss it.
Yeah, Billy would
Can
win
somebody
that.
get me a shiwi in that case? Because I'm going to
A
struggle.
what?
A shiwi?
What is a shiwi?
Google it.
I
Google
don't
it.
really
Don't
want to do
do
that,
that.
Sam. That may bring up things that aren't allowed on my screen.
Think about it, like, you know, when you're putting like window wash in your car and you need like a funnel
for
to make
God's
sure it
sake.
doesn't go everywhere. Great at festivals or out in the wild anywhere. Just shiwi.
Make sure you put it in the wrong way around though.
Oh my God! You know, there you go. There you go.
Oh, God.
Unbelievable, man.
Who needs a drink?
Oh,
God.
dear. Michael
I don't think we've
McIntyre
got
with
any
a super
alcohol.
chat says, "Hi, Lady Sam. Is that the mug I won for you?" There you go. Graham Sinclair, you're all the best hosts in your own ways. In other words, roughly on the fence. Ian Spoons, good evening. I'll vote for you this year, Stato. Hashtag bollocks door.
You are
send
very
the
kind.
Ballon d'Or to the bollocks door. And Emma has also gifted a Toon Review membership. Thank you, Emma. Much appreciated. Right. We'll do another award. Most versatile player of the season. Billy.
Very interesting. I'm going to go for Jacob Murphy, despite being absolutely dreadful last game, but
yeah,
he did play well in a couple of games at right wing back, right wing. So I'm going to vote for him.
Ball Geordie says, Sam, I'm great at channeling water with my hands. You can choose the direction, though.
Oh, you dirty bastard.
What a stream this is, said Ball Geordie.
But
Oh.
my God. Roberto D has put John Ruddy for most versatile. Yeah.
For dressing gown model as well as football coach, goalkeeper.
Absolutely. Alex, who are you going for?
It's a tough one. I mean, honourable mention to Joe Linton for a couple of switches, but it's between Murphy and Tino Livramento, I would imagine. So I think we shall. Oh, there we go. I have just been brought an emergency shot for the state of TTR Friday. Thank you very much.
That is a good woman. You are a lucky man.
I know. She's amazing. I think I want to give it to Tino, because I was, as good as Murphy's been, he has played right wing pretty much most of the time. Whereas Tino's just been shoved at left back. And I think we were all, because I don't know about you guys. Do you remember when Lewis Hall first got injured? I think we were all pretty worried. We were really worried. And that just dissipated because Tino just turned into just I don't know what he did, but he was brilliant. So I'm going to go for Tino Livramento for versatility because he saved the season.
Yeah.
Imagine if you'd have had to use Target for 10 appearances or 15 appearances.
No, let's not.
Might not have been the same.
Robert says, tomorrow's headline, Stato forced out of TTR, didn't get on with his boss. Chris in Evermore says, and well done to you all this year. Great channel and great content all year round. Right back at you, buddy.
Yeah,
right back at you.
Mate.
If you haven't already done so, go and search for Evermore NUFC on YouTube and give them a subscribe, guys. Fantastic channel. Great friends of our channel as well. And glad that they're doing so well as well. Brilliant channel. So get yourself subscribed to them as well. Big friends of the Toon Review over at Evermore. Right, Sam, most versatile player.
I'm going to agree with Alex on this one. Can't take anything away from Murphy. Absolutely incredible season. Yes, he's had good and bad days. Doesn't everybody? And third most goal contributions of the season. I think was it 19 or 20 he ended on. But either way, absolutely tremendous season for Murphy. But it's got to be Tino for me. I think we were panicking a little bit. We didn't want to see Target coming in there, and he's just done a fantastic job. And now we've got a bit of a challenge on our hands because I personally think he's playing really well in that position. So it's a great problem to have. I think he's done a fantastic job. So it's Tino for me.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'm going Tino. I think Alex has summed it up well. Who would you rather have, Target or Livramento there? And absolutely 100% Tino. He stepped up and as Billy said many times. What? Well, damn. Yeah,
could have been even worse.
Sketch over that little comment there. But as Billy has said many times, I thought Livramento was actually better on the left than he was on the right, which is weird.
That's not to say I can't wait for Lewis Hall to come back. I think
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
We're going to be outstanding next season.
100%. Right, next one we're going to go for is, we've got best set piece taker here. Have we really had a good set piece taker this season?
Well,
have we scored any direct free kicks this year? Straight in? I don't think we have, have we?
I don't think we have. I don't think we've had a free kick and someone's rattled it in the top bins. I don't think we have.
Do you remember earlier on in the season? I think we waited. I think I counted them. We waited for over 100 corners before we scored from one, and we've not scored from a direct free kick either. So for all the positive set piece talk about Jason Tindall from Eddie,
it's lacking
great.
somewhat. Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate we've scored from set pieces in some of the big games, which fine, brilliant. But over the year, it'd be nice to have a few more free kicks and corner goals, right?
Yeah. We'll go for most disappointing player of the year. But first of all, we've got a super chat from Graham Sinclair. Hey, these are statos. Graham Sinclair, it's clearly how manager and sporting director. Oh, interesting. He's not going to be sporting director, though. I think they will bring somebody else in. Right, most disappointing player of the season. I'll start this one, and I'm going with Joe Willock. I think Joe's had a real. He just doesn't look the same player, and he's had plenty chances to really make an impact, especially towards the sort of second half of the season, and he just hasn't done it for me. You loved Joe Willock when he was in full flow, running at defenders and really causing all sorts of problems from midfield, but we just haven't seen it. So unfortunately, I give that mantle to Joe Willock this season. Alex?
Quite harshly, and I think it's very, very harsh, but I've got to give it to Callum Wilson.
Oh!
Fair enough.
I agree with everything you said about Joe Willock completely.
But it's not Callum's fault, is it?
I agree. This is why it's so hard, because I love Callum Wilson. He's a great bloke, and he was a fantastic player, but I don't think he's a fantastic player anymore. And he had a real bad year. It's unavailability for us for such a long time. And then when he was available, we got a brushed in goal in the cup, and that was it. Yeah. For me, it was Callum. I think it was because he was so good. The fall from grace was so strong. Yeah. It was such a big fall. Because we were all walking around as Newcastle fans going, oh yeah, he's in and out the England squad. He's goals per night. He's one of the best in the league. He's this, he's that. We put him on such a high pedestal because he was great. He was really, really good. And he's gone from that. And it's not like it's been a gradual decline. He just came back and he couldn't do it anymore. It was just, it was really sad. So sorry, Callum, but it is Callum for me.
Well, I mean, the chat, there's lots of Joe Willocks in there. There's lots of Callum Wilson as well. Longstaff's been mentioned a few times. But
I think a lot of us expected Longstaff.
The one I'm going to say hasn't been mentioned.
Oh, well, we'll come to you second, Billy. The poll is up for Host of the Year, by the way. Get voting now. We'll get back to that at the end of the show. Is it Lady Sam, Paul, Billy, or Alex? This is just a bit of banter, remember. So get voting. And we'll touch on that at the end of the show. Billy, who is yours?
Well, I know we've got financially, it's worked out fantastic for us, but on the pitch, I'm going to say Lloyd Kelly. We thought we were going to get a fantastic defender out. All the Bournemouth fans said how great he was. What we got was someone that was backed off. In the end, we were trying to do tackles from level 7. It was that bad.
The backpedaling.
Just constant backpedaling. It's not the way to defend. It's certainly awful.
Didn't like the backpedaling.
The West Ham game, he lost his man twice from corners. So for me, someone that's supposed to be so good and a potential England player, Lloyd Kelly, and apparently his form's continued over in Italy. So that's even more disappointing for me. I thought it was going to be something special, and he hasn't been. Far from it.
Interesting.
Sorry.
See, your dog agrees.
Yeah, one of the pugs agrees. By the way, just wanted to give it. Well, I'm not going to mention the person's name, but there was a lovely comment on one of my videos earlier on in the week, saying that they wished me and Billy were no longer on this planet because we bring nothing to the channel. We aren't funny. I just shout at the camera for likes and subs. And Parkinson should
name and shame.
Parkinson.
I mean, I'm not funny either, so that just leaves Sam. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Parkinson should have took me sooner rather than later. And Billy, apparently when you were in hospital, they should have just put you down. It was lovely. It was a lovely comment. So thank you very much for that.
Thanks, ex-wife.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
Yeah, got name and shame. Name and shame.
No, I'm not giving them the airtime, Billy, to be honest. I'm not. But listen, we get loads of these. We get absolutely loads of them. I mean, one day we should just do a show based on hate comments and just read them out for a laugh.
Should we? And laugh at them all. Funny, yes.
Yeah, because you know, it that's how I see them now. I see all the trolling and I mean, wishing me and Billy dead is sick in the head. But at the same time, you know, I just laugh at them now because they're funny. You know, it's like, you know, the jealousy burns inside these people so bad. It's hilarious. So thank you for that. But I think I might do that for a show over the summer where when all four of us are on. We can read each other's hate comments for a laugh.
Is it someone that we know though? Is it someone that we've seen in the chat before?
I don't think so. No. They had spruced up a couple of times, but again, they were just like, "Oh, Paul, stop doing these videos."
You said they spruced up.
I actually got called a disabled fucking womble in one of them, which made me actually laugh out loud.
Wrong with the womble?
Well, nothing at all. The wombles were part of my upbringing. I love the wombles. But a disabled one, I've never seen a disabled either.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to like take this to like a stupid level or anything, but I just got a visual in my head of like a little womble like on crutches or something. Like, just trying to get over.
What you're thinking there is a womble with Parkinson's, isn't it? Thanks, Sam. That's lovely. What a lovely thing to say.
Remember your disabled womble.
Yeah, there'll be me holding a cup of tea, shaking and that, and then be Billy with fucking testicles the size of Mount Everest, and like, you know, I mean, Gordon Bennett, honestly, but yeah, you've got to laugh sometimes.
I would no flow.
Oh dear. Samsonite Doves gifted 5 Toon Review memberships. Thank you very much. Awesome. Night of Knee Gaming, who's been a member for 34 months now, says that's a bit harsh on the wombles. I love the wombles. Yeah, well, Sam's just called me a bloody womble with Parkinson's, so that'd be a lovely thing to say on a Friday. Anyway, Joe Wilkinson's also gifted a Toon Review membership. Thank you, Joe. Very kind. Gary Clark with a super chat between Willock Wilson and Longstaff. I'm voting for Willock. His poor decision-making gives him the edge for me. Sam, who's your most
Can I just mention something really quick about Longstaff? A few people have said Longstaff. I feel like he's not appropriate for this selection because we all kind of expected him to drop out of the pecking order anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I think we know kind of Sean's level. We know what he can play up to if he's having a really good hot streak, but generally we knew he was probably going to be a bit part anyway. So
yeah.
I don't know if that's guaranteed biggest disappointment because we kind of saw it coming, right?
Yeah. Jimmy's in the chat. He wants to be a womble as well. He says wobble, but I presume he's meant to say womble. Jimmy, great to see you, mate. Hope you're still on the road to recovery. Great to see you back home, buddy. And on the show, of course. Gary, no, I've read that one. Emma's in with another super sticker. Thank you, Emma. Sam, who's yours?
Well, who've we got in contention? And it's kind of remarkable the season that we've had, despite the players that we've been mentioning. Longstaff, Target, Kelly, Callum Wilson. I don't think, Willock, Miley haven't exactly been at the races this season.
Who's fifth?
Who's going to take the crown for me?
Let's not be too negative, guys. Come on, we get.
I'm saying, in spite of that,
Indeed.
Look how well we've done. We've done incredibly well. I'm so proud of the team, proud of the lads. So, I think for me, I am going to say it's got to be Willock because I can logically say about Callum, given his age, the amount of injuries that he's had, I don't want to give him that crown after being such a servant and in the quick decline. But it hasn't been that quick. We've been expecting it. Oh, sorry, Alex, we disagree. Let's just be good and get over it.
I'll put the crown on.
Be good and get over it. Chris Lynch with the super chat. Was it one of the stewards who had a go at Paul over parking at St James's Park? No, they questioned my disability, which it often gets done. I know other people who suffer disabilities get questioned as well. It was just the way that they went about it. However, I did park at the Metro Centre last night. And me and Susan went to the Metro Centre, and obviously I've got disabled badges, and I parked in a disabled bay, but we were in the Jag, right? And this fella next to me must have thought that I was taking the piss, right? And I really fucking hate this when this happens, right? I got out the car. Yeah, I got out the car.
Do you try and put on that you are a bit more? Are you concerned that people might?
No, why the fuck should I? I mean, I've
got friends who've done that, and it's
I've done that.
It's horrible.
I've done that. I'll put a voice on once.
I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to do that. I put a voice on.
Don't elaborate on that, Billy, please. We'll get cancelled. No, we don't need you to elaborate on that.
And a limp.
I mean, it is slightly antagonising, though, right, though, Paul? You pull it up in a disabled space in a Jag. I bet you were roaring the tits off it as well.
I do not roar the tits off my Jaguar.
Anyway, you went to the Metro Centre. You could have bought yourself a Newcastle truck while you were there.
Yes, I could have, Billy, but I'd already ordered one, and we weren't going. You know, it was a last minute thing because there wasn't a show on, so we thought, we'll have a ride out. So anyway, he wound his window down, and he was like, "If you haven't got disabled badges, mate, because there's parking guys walking around here," and I went, "I've got them in my window, thanks." And so many times when I pull up into disabled bays, that I've got old people waving fucking blue badges at me, going, "Where's the blue badge?" And I fucking get it out and I wave it back along with a fucking five full of fists.
Along with the blue badge.
Twats. It really pisses me off. You know, the old twats. I'll make them more disabled than they already are. They keep going at me.
The bloke
it's
next
not my
year,
fucking fault.
The bloke next to you said you haven't got a blue badge, and it was in your window. What was his disability? Blindness.
Well, he was just
driving.
Fucking idiot.
This conversation makes me so nervous.
You know how some of them have these blue badges in these big leather folders that probably cost about 50 fucking quid. You know, he was like in the palm of his hand, you know. Mine were just thrown in the window like I normally do.
Get in, lionesses.
Tell me more.
Beaver Jones. Strange name for a lady.
Anyway, enough about my...
Can we do most improved player?
Beaver Jones. Alex. What a goal that is.
Says the man in the Jag, rolling around fucking laughing. Listen, what's wrong with that? Can I just say, right? I've saved up for a long... You are allowed
to be disabled and own a Jag at the same time. They're not...
I have saved up for a long time to buy this car, right? So I've worked for it. Big deal.
Stephen Hawking had a Jag, apparently.
Did he?
He couldn't drive it, clearly, but he had one.
Can we move on? Oh.
He wouldn't know how to
drive it, but he didn't drive it.
You what, Billy?
Well, obviously, he couldn't drive it, but he just certainly had it might have been a roller. Anyway, let's move on.
Why? Anyway, Greg Crotty with a super chat. I would like to see Newcastle sign Davy Selk on free transfer next week. 22 goals for Hamburg and would not mind being a backup for Isak. Dan Robinson, whoop whoop, YouTube police are on the way. What, checking out the Toon review as if that never happened before?
Oof. 2-0.
Oh, hey, I missed out here, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sam. Are we taking up your time?
Have you
She's
finished?
wearing an England top, to be fair.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Representing she is.
Geordie Lass, Lucy Bronze.
Right. Most improved player of the season, Sam.
Sorry, what?
You did that on purpose.
I know, I genuinely didn't. Sorry. What was the question?
Hang on. Stephen, I know you can pick Jags up for cheap, but this isn't a cheap Jag, mate. Trust me.
Next.
Fucking hell.
Oh, she's not offside. 2-0.
You know, you save up for something. You buy you something really nice. It's not your average Jag, right? It's not
like a little sporty one, isn't it? It's like
yes.
I mean, they aren't on the average Jag, to be fair. They're all pretty special cars, aren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, you've seen it. I mean, you've seen the pictures of it. It's not an average Jag, and I worked hard for it. So I'm not going to apologize for having that just because I'm disabled. For fuck's sake. Anyway, most improved player, Sam.
Murphy or Tino? I'm going to go Murphy. I've got to give it to Murphy.
Okay.
I don't think I need to go into too much detail about why. I just think his consistency's improved. I don't think we would have had the goals that we've got this season without him. The amount of ground coverage that he's had, yeah, just brilliant.
Interesting. Alex?
I think honourable mentions for Dubravka for learning how to be a little bit of a sweeper keeper in a really key moment where the season could have fallen away from us. So massive shout out to Dubravka for being able to learn new tricks as an old dog, which is something that Nick Pope can't do with his kicking. So Dubs has done the opposite. So well done. I had all but thrown him under the bus and said sell him, and he was really important. Massive shout out to Lewis Hall as well, who's gone from not being in the side at all to being one of the best left backs in the Premier League. But it's got to go to Jacob Murphy for 20 goal contributions from a guy that was not getting in ahead of Miggy, really. It was a rotation fight between those two. So, yeah, easy, Jacob Murphy.
Okay. Mine's Jacob Murphy as well, for exactly the reasons that Alex has just given there. How can you not? Ian Spoons, Toon Trader, says, vote for Alex, the Roy Keane of TTR. # loves a battle. Billy?
Yeah, you can't argue with Jacob Murphy. He's 100% the choice. Yeah, been outstanding this season.
Yeah, Max. Yes. Ian says it's the person that is disabled and not the vehicle travelled in. Thank you, Ian. Very
Correct,
sensible
Ian.
answer. Absolutely. 100%. You know, some of our viewers are very switched on. Best joker of the squad. Well,
Jeez.
Wow.
I'm sorry, there's someone at the door.
There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. Do you remember that, Billy?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Do you remember it, Sam?
I've got his barking dog, man. What? Do you remember what?
How northeast? I've got a barking dog, man. What?
What?
You
get loud. The Georgie's just like.
Clearly.
Was it Emu's World? It was, wasn't it?
It was Emu, yeah.
I don't remember that.
You know, the was it the pink windmill?
Yeah, I ain't seen much of him lately, have we?
Emu?
No. Just disappeared from view, didn't he?
Well, Rod Hull's not on the planet anymore, Billy. That's probably why.
Yeah.
I'm going to sort out me dogs. The drivers.
It was the worst sky engineer in history. Never did get to see Man United win the Champions League, did it?
Oh my God. Anyway, joker of the pack, Billy.
Of the team, I would say it has to be Bruno. I mean, just for that Town Hall performance alone.
Hey, did you see him on the pitch after the Everton game?
And doing his paying his forfeit.
Knees.
Yeah, fair play to him.
Absolutely incredible. Alex,
I'm going to give it to Will Osula. Just because he's. Let's be honest. He's what is he? 21 now? 20? I don't think he's quite 21. But he knows his place in the squad. He seems to understand that he's going to develop. He's been part of a lot of the media stuff and event stuff. He's clearly trusted. He's a good lad.
Yeah.
He's been a big character. Whenever there's cameras anywhere near him, he's clearly loved by the lads. He joined in dyeing his hair blonde with the Brazilians as well. He just gets involved in all the fun. Looks like quite a good character, a really good addition to the squad in terms of morale and just a bit of a laugh. So the fact that he can also play football is quite handy. So yeah, definitely him.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam, your joker of the pack.
Ooh, I think last season it had to be Murphy because he was just a fantastic shithouse. I did enjoy Bruno's little kiss to Enzo the other night, but I think Alex is right. It's got to be Osula. He's class. He's just got this chaos factor about him, not only in his play, but how he actually is as a person as well. He's great, really good young energy in the team, and that's what's good for us.
Oh, I absolutely love, by the way, that his song is Tequila.
Yeah,
it's like the best thing they've ever done.
Class.
Love it.
Yeah, it is.
It's robbing off Arsenal, isn't it? They sing that for Saliba, so it's a bit of a rob. Still.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
But I feel like Ostula is
better.
It's closer and makes more sense. So I can't wait for him to start playing more and scoring, and we can hear that because it'll be good.
I'm going for Osula as well. No doubt about it for me. Just the way he behaves. He's clearly loved in the dressing room as well. And he looks like one of those players that can really bring a bit of laughter and a bit of joy to the dressing room if things aren't going our way. You know, he can always seems like one of those guys that can just perk up the dressing room. So I've gone for Will Osula. Slowest player of the year, Billy.
Is that as in running or
in general, running, on the ball, whatever, the whole thing?
Christ, it's got to be Callum Wilson, isn't it? I mean, I think I beat him in a race at the minute.
Interesting. Alex?
I'm really sorry. I just had to check something. But what was the vote this time?
It's all right. Nobody's fucking listening to me tonight, quite clearly. So, I'm just sitting here talking to a microphone to our wonderful audience, but none of my co-hosts are bothering to fucking open their ears and listen to what I'm saying. Apart from Billy. Billy's been very switched on tonight, but that does make a change. Billy is normally, he comes on 2 minutes before the show after having been asleep for 4 hours. So, it's nice to know.
If we're lucky.
Yeah.
2 minutes for
Sometimes it's 10 minutes after the show started. Anyway, Alex, slowest player of the year.
Callum Wilson.
Okay.
By a country mile, and it's not even close.
That's an oxymoron, Stasso.
The fact that in that Sky Sports little game that they played, the fact that Emil Kraft and Matt Target both went, "Oi, no, you get down the end," and he wasn't having it. They all know it's him. They all know it's him, and he's not ready. He's not ready to accept it. He is the slowest player in that team.
There's quite a few in the chat saying Bruno.
Bruno is really slow as well. You're not wrong.
Sam?
Yeah, can't argue with that. And bless him, it is down to age and decline. Our players have a short shelf life, unfortunately, but he's given us so much over the years, but he's definitely the slowest of the team. Time to move on.
Okay.
Some people saying Burn. Nah, Burn kept up with Pedro Neto
Burn's improved
recently,
on his pace, yeah,
which was amazing. Like,
I think Burn's got faster this season. Yeah. I'm not going to say Callum because I'm not going to crucify him for his injuries. You three are just dreadfully terrible hammering Callum for that. I'm going with Sean Longstaff. I'm going with Sean. He's and mainly
slowest.
For his,
Sean,
will you shut up and let me speak? Thank you. It's my monologue time. Anyway, I think it's because I think
Oh,
again.
you did it again. He's going to get mad.
He's done plenty of monologuing. He'll get over it.
Such a twat. Seriously though, I'm going for more on the ball. I think Sean's like he's a yard behind everybody else. He's late into tackles now. He passes the ball after the players have already left 5 minutes ago. And then when he's actually on the ball, he is so easy to tackle because he is just not up to speed with the rest of the team. And the opposition get in there, pinch the ball, and away they go. We've seen it so many times this season. But it's not Sean's fault. I think as the team has developed and we've got these elite players in midfield, it's very difficult for Sean to play with players who are of an elite status. So mine's gone for Sean. Super chats. Roadblock says, you don't get this patter like this anywhere else on any other channel. Well, Lord Wishart says, I'm watching back and what the actual fuck. Your channel has helped me loads. The fucking wombles out there. Seriously, I don't chat much these days to allow others the space. Hey, you're always welcome to comment, Lord Wishart. Dan Robinson, another one. Super chat. Been your monologue for 90 minutes, Paul. Well, I'm sorry for hosting the fucking channel.
Hey!
Right back at you, Dan. Ah, dear. Let's have another one. Who is the best passer of the ball this season? Billy.
Good grief, there's been some absolute, sport for choice in this one, haven't we? I'm going to say, it's an obvious answer, but I'm going to say Jacob Murphy, because his passes have been sensational and created goals. Lots of them.
Yep. Alex?
Best pass of the ball,
Jesus
I'm going to
Christ,
have
I thought
to
he'd fallen
say...
asleep there.
No, there was background noise, sorry. I think Lewis Hall's has been really solid, but not as quite as crisp as we saw in preseason. Like when we went, like Paul, if you remember when we went to preseason, we saw him play some absolute zingers, and we got very excited. It didn't quite happen as much in the season. Fabian Schär's passing was off for a lot of the season as well. Bruno's struggled to find his range a lot of the game. I think it's got to go to Sandro, to be honest. I think Sandro's probably been the most consistent one. Great technical ability. Yeah, Sandro Tonali, best passer for me.
Okay. By the way, it's just been announced on Newcastle United's website that Dan Burn has been given the freedom of Northumberland.
Good for him.
Yeah. Awesome. What a year he has had. What a year he's had. Sam?
I'm with Alex on this one. I don't think I need to elaborate on it. Alex had the synopsis bang on. Just consistency, how we can progress the ball much quicker, the opportunities that it creates. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, Sandro for me. Just elite. And I can't wait to see him.
We have got to put a little tag on what Billy said, though. He wasn't wrong. Like, Murphy's played some...
Oh, absolutely.
3 or 4 absolute... The little back heel assist for Isak. Like, whoever thought that had come out of Jacob Murphy? Like, wow.
Yeah.
Some of his crossing's been elite this season. Nobody can argue with that. Paul Geordie says, a colleague of mine was initially diagnosed with dyslexia. Our organisation tested him and said, great news, you're not dyslexia. You're just a bit slow. He's on TV now.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a joke or...
Neither. You never know him, do you? You seriously never know. But here, that's just the way it is. Right, the final one we'll do for tonight before we announce host of the year. Goal of the season. And we'll start with you for this one, Alex.
Is this for all competitions, yeah?
Yes, just goal of the season, yeah.
I know you don't like me waffling. Would you prefer quality of goal or biggest emotional impact? Most impactful goal. What do we prefer?
I do want to waffle, but before I do, can I just confirm
I'll just waffle a bit.
Question?
No,
what do you want to go for?
No, I'll go first so you get an idea. I'm going for Dan Burns' header in the final against Liverpool. Because not only was it a brilliant header, it was just the raw emotion after that goal. It was incredible. The players' emotion, the fans in the ground, the fans watching everywhere around the world. It was the cup final goal for me that will always stand out. Obviously, Isak's against, I think it was Liverpool when he hit it from 20 yards out. But there's so many great goals, but that has so much more meaning probably to every other goal that we scored really this season. It was incredible. Just raw emotion. Now your turn, Alex.
All right. Well, yeah, I agree with what you said. I wasn't sure whether to vote for technique or passion.
It's both, whatever you want to vote for, mate, to be honest.
I mean, massive kudos to Sandro Tonali's goal. from basically the corner flag. And Isak, like you said, against
And
Liverpool
Murphy's
in the
as
league
well.
game.
Yeah.
The Isak one in the league was just disgusting against the team who won the Premier League. He basically just took it away from Van Dijk and went, bang, that's my goal from 30 yards. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I've got to go with the cup final goals. Both of them from Dan Burn and Alexander Isak. Probably the Dan Burn goal was pure elation, but then the Isak goal, if you remember, Sam, we all looked at each other and went, "Oh my god, we actually might do this." So there was
a build up to that goal as well, though, wasn't it? It was a brilliant build up as well. It was a really good goal.
It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic, and different emotions. One for just scoring in a cup final doesn't mean you're going to win it, but then when the second one goes in and you 2-0 up, you're thinking, "Oh my god!" And it's from your 9 as well. You're 14. I'll go with the cup final goal. I'll go Dan Burn first, like you, Paul. I think it was probably the most. Yeah.
I'm not sure what's happened to Banana's comment there, but
bananas.
I think the emojis have gone a bit banana. Yeah, absolutely. Billy.
Yeah, the two cup final goals. Tonali's goal from the side, the 2 in the cup tie as well, and the Murphy one from the corner of the box was outstanding. But I'm going to give it to Isak, actually, because I thought the build-up for that was sensational in the cup final. And the little nod down, the cross from Tino, nod down from Murphy, and a fantastic finish from Isak. Yeah, that's fine.
Brooke Butler with a super chat saying Sandro's corner goal. Yeah, a classic. Murphy's as well, remember. Murphy's was just really good as well.
He meant, isn't he?
Yeah.
The fact that I just like Sandro's for the fact that the stadium went quiet. Because everybody went quiet. You heard a thump. And everybody was like, it took like 2 seconds for the entire crowd to register what had just happened. That was what made it so surreal. It was very odd.
Yeah. Sam?
I think because Sandro didn't take the credit for it, I am not going to include him in my thinking for this, but it has to be Dan Burns' goal in the cup final. And I think that the reason why I really want to push and labour the point is because that goal gave us hope and pushed the lads on for Isak to deliver the second. And I don't think we can downplay the importance of it, the manner in which he scored, the celebration, how much it meant. That gave us hope to go on and win that game. So that's why I am giving it to Dan Burn.
Okay. Antacid says, my head hurts. I need clips. My short-term memory is glitchy. Well, Antacid, there's many reasons why your memory is probably glitchy, mate. The color green springs to mind. Anyway, the final one, I knew that was player-wise, but what I want to ask you three is, as a host on the channel, what has been your favorite moment, host-wise, of the season?
Oh, dear.
Yeah, but it could have been something funny that sticks out, or whatever. It could be anything. Billy, we'll start with you.
Yeah, the cup final. It has to be. Just has to be for me.
Yeah.
Sensational day. The one waiting for so long. And yeah, it was just everything you wanted it to be.
Mm. Yep. Interesting. Put in the chat what your favorite host of the moment was of the season. Billy Cryan is very much so in. Oh, hi, it's me, says that guy in the bath. Oh, dear.
Oh, gosh.
I've seen him for a while, have we?
Ian, no, he's all right, Billy. He used to work for me way back in the day. He's a good lad as well.
Did a good impression of an elephant that day, didn't he?
I tell you what, it took us by surprise, Billy. It did.
I thought he was giving it a drink.
Wow. Alex, what's been your moment for as being a host on the channel this season? What stood out to you?
I mean, I wasn't here for the cup final because I was in a fan zone, so I guess I can't really claim that. So I'm going to go for the build up to the final. I think when we did our previews, I think we were all so fired up as a fan base. Everyone was on the same page. All the fans of the Toon Review, everybody in Newcastle, the people in Wembley, people watching everywhere, the players, the manager, everyone was like, right, we can do this. We really can. If our midfield tick, the fullbacks do their job, Isak's just absolutely lethal. If everybody does their job, we can beat Liverpool 100%. We drew with them 3-3 earlier on in the season. They were a bit wobbled from the PSG game, and we knew, we had belief. So I'm going to go with that, because I think we all felt, we were all a bit nervous, but we felt we could do it. We really did. So I'll go for that, because that's just, it's weird putting, all of us kind of put our hopes and dreams on the line there, and it hurts when it goes wrong. But for the first time in a very long time, it didn't go wrong. It went very right.
Yeah. Sam?
Obviously, when Billy cried, it gets me every time when you replayed that video. That set me off the other night. But what was really special for me, I wasn't very well. I was really poorly when the celebration parade was on, and actually getting to spend it here on the channel with everybody really engaged. We were all watching it and reacting to it together at the same time. And, you know, unfortunately didn't get there, but still got to feel like you're celebrating with, you know, everybody who just loves this club so much. It was absolutely wonderful. That was the top moment of the season, to see all of that with you.
Oh, well, my moment of the season isn't really to do with what went on the pitch. My moment of the season is being able to do this channel with you three. I've had really horrendous health problems throughout this season, and of course suffered a minor stroke after the semi-final against Arsenal, and was pretty poorly, pretty worried, pretty in a bad place, I guess, worried about what was happening to me. But look, at the end of the day, the support I had from you guys, the mods, the viewers, everybody was absolutely incredible. But to do this on a daily basis with three of my best friends in the whole wide world is one thing that keeps me going. Through all the health problems that I have and being poorly and things like that, to come on here and just forget it all, have a great bit of banter with you three, really is very, very special to me. And hopefully that will continue for seasons upon seasons to come, because I think the banter we have, we take the piss out of each other, but that's exactly what best mates do. And you three are just the best in the world. You really are. And I want to thank you in front of everybody for all you do for this channel, for all you do for me. The mods as well, who work so hard behind the scenes. They never get really a big enough mention, especially on match day lives when we got thousands of people watching. The chat's flying through, and they dedicate all their time to, you know, this amazing channel that we've all created here. So it's been absolutely unreal. So mods, incredible. And of course, Susan, who continues to be my rock by my side through everything, the most wonderful woman in the world to have by my side through. She's just there for everything. When I'm not well, she's there for the kids. And even when she's not feeling well, she's been through health problems. She always, you know, just takes charge and just...
Paul, could I just reference a massive shout out to Susan for the fact that several thousand people did not notice that you had a medical problem, and she was probably one of the only people who did. And that's pretty incredible, to be fair.
I didn't, and I was with him at the time.
Yeah, so massive shout out for that, because that
4-0 Lioness, by the way.
Bad if she hadn't have noticed. So
yeah, it was Susan that picked it up and obviously got me sorted the day after. But you know, she's just incredible behind the scenes. What she does for me on a daily basis, just being there for me and loving me, even though I'm a grumpy old bastard at times and I'm not very well at times. And she's just incredible. So an incredible woman. But you guys out there as well, the viewers, without you, we'd be nothing. You keep coming back in your drawers for these shows. You are an incredible bunch. We've created such a fantastic community on here that you guys have banter with us all the time as well, which is absolutely incredible. So, you know what? You're just amazing people. You really are. And it's to say that we're a big family on here is an understatement, because we really, really are. And despite everything, despite all the haters and things like that, we still come back. We still together as a family on the channel, and that's what keeps everybody going. So thank you to everybody. And that is it for tonight, apart from host of the year. So
Were you going for a late push for the vote there, Paul, by the way, with that very emotional speech? I'm joking.
that hurts.
I'm being a
That
shithouse.
fucking hurts. That does.
You know what I'm like. Just ignore her. She's like that all the time.
Despite what I've just said about Sam, you'll no longer see her because she's fired. Anyway, let's have a look at the results and see what the viewers have put. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well done,
Anyway.
Paul. Well done, Paul.
No.
Congratulations, Paul.
Gary Clark with a super chat saying, caregivers are heroes. They certainly are. Certainly are. The results are in. Oh, hang on. Truls has come in with a super chat. Been here for a long time. Love this show and hope for many more. Truls has been with us since the start. I think since I was on like 10 subscribers or something. Absolutely incredible. Host of the year. Should we go in reverse order?
Yeah. Why not?
In fourth place, Lady Sam on 19%.
Wow.
In third place is Billy Trey on 24%.
Yes.
So the winner of Host of the Year on 30%, Alex Walker!
Hey!
Oh my God.
Well done, Stato.
Mate.
There you go.
Jesus, I was not expecting that,
Well
considering
done,
how
mate.
much I've annoyed everyone this year. But
Yeah,
well
600 votes as well.
Thank
so
you.
plenty of votes came in.
Wow.
I finished on 26, so I'm not too fussed with that. 4% difference between me and Stato. I can live with that. Well done, Alex. You can go and celebrate after the show, which I'm sure
Get
you
an
will.
alcoholic drink, maybe.
Yeah, you deserve
no. He'll go and buy himself a trophy tomorrow and put it in the background.
That is a great idea.
Oh, God.
I'll get Billy some as well. Billy can have two. I'll have one.
Yeah.
I'll just get 2 stars put up with my badge, yeah.
Sam, we'll just have to do better next year, love. You know, I mean,
Do better next time.
You know,
Note to self. Okay.
Yeah, note to self. Our report cards are shite. Ian Toon Trader with us a super chat saying, "Get in, Stato." But Tommy Robinson says he still need your hair dyed, you little knacker. It's not going to happen.
It is dyed, just a different color.
He's going to get. a
I'm going to get a tattoo instead. Yeah. I
gonna
am
get-
up soon as well. I'm up in the northeast in the middle of June, so I may bump into a few people possibly.
5-0 England Lionesses. Christ almighty.
Jesus.
Only 32 minutes in.
Jesus. Alex is getting this a tattoo with my face on his back, so that should be very interesting reveal. But there you go. TTR Friday done and dusted. Thank you once again for tuning in, for all your super chats, memberships, etc. Thank you, mods. Thank you, Sam, Alex, and Billy. And of course, thank you to you guys out there for tuning in. Massive crowd in again tonight. Hope you've had a good laugh on the show. And of course, thank you to Mamaroo Records for their continuation of sponsoring the channel based in Whitley Bay for all your music needs. If you can't get in to see Steve in the shop in Whitley Bay, check them out online. That is, what's the word I'm looking for? Pinned at the top of the description of the show alongside our website, thetoonreview.com.
You want a Billy Trey youth time story? I've got one.
Okay, but thank you for interrupting my monologue again.
Go on, finish it off, and I'll start off after you do.
So thank you to them, and check out thetoonreview.com, of course, for all your merchandise. Thank you for all your orders. They keep coming in every day. It's incredible. Just one thing though, if you do order something from the website that is embroidery, like some of the hats and things like that they do take a little bit of extra time to be made and sent out. So it's normally about a 3 to 5 day turnaround for everything, but the embroidered stuff does take a little bit longer. So don't worry, they will get sent to you. I've had a couple of emails just asking if everything's okay. Everything's fine. Just be patient is what I would say, because the embroidery takes a little bit longer than the prints. But get yourself on there. There's some fantastic stuff on there for all the family, and obviously it supports the channel as well. Right. It is time for this with the vocals from our very own Lady Sam.
It's that time in the TTR show. us with another tale. Tale.
Come on, then, Billy. Let's hear it.
Well, my dad, he was always a great believer in making sure that I was going to get a job and get myself to work, and he was very much a work man and wanted me to do the same. And so when I was 14, he got me some work experience. He came home from the club, slightly worse for wear. So I've got a bit of work experience, lad. He says, you're going to do a week's work with Gordon. I said, who the piss now's Gordon? He said, well, Gordon, the Mackham down the club. Oh yeah, what does he do? He says, "Oh, just go meet him Monday morning, 7:30, and he'll guide you." Gordon works in the sewers, and Mackham. He says, "You're going to work with me down the sewers for a week." I said, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So honestly, it's fantastic. You'll get used to it. So down the Manor, we went into the sewers of Coventry, which I guess amongst sewers ain't the greatest sewers in the world. And he said, "This is a really, really interesting job." I said, "It's horrible. Stinks. It's rank." He said, "There's rats everywhere. It's horrible. Don't like it. I want to get out." He says, "Look, just follow me down here." He says, "What you get to do when you're down here, you learn things. I've got some interesting facts for you. See this turd coming along here?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'll see it, yeah." He said, "Well, that belongs to Mrs. Smith from round the corner at Acacia Avenue." I said, "How the piss now do you know that?" He said, "Well, I know for a fact she's got a wart on her rectum and it leaves a little indentation in her stools. So that one's got indentation. It's Mrs. Smith." I went, "That's great knowledge to know." He said, "See this one come down here?" I said, yes. He said, "Well, that's Mr. Johnson, the butcher's. He lives on a diet of bacon, sausage, black pudding. And you can see it's like a 3-laid thing there." He says, "That's definitely Mrs. Smith." So, Mr. Johnson's, the butcher's. I went, "Oh, God, I don't believe this." He said, "This one is my wife's." I said, "What? How do you know that?" He says, "She always tied me sandwiches to it."
And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you soon. Good night.
Good night, you lads and lasses.
Come back and check out the green.